Hello everybody, welcome to Red Tool House. On today's video, we're going to talk about when is it time to retire some genetics. Stop the breed line. So let's get into that. Yippee! There you go, genius. Let your stomach drive you. Drives me. Pig, 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 pig. Swine driver. Come on, ladies, it's time to eat. Well, this video is kind of an update, kind of a discussion point. This is kind of a turning point for us. Maybe we'll have to see what we're going to do here, but I've got 4 pigs, three sows and a gilt. One here in the middle. Matilda is our gilt, and I have Abigail, who's the oldest. She is the grandmother. She's one of my original pigs that I've had. She's the Hampshire here, the black one, a little long in the tooth now. And then her daughter is over here. That's Merida. And I've had multiple offspring from Merida. It's worked out well. But this year, this past December, I did not breed Abigail, nor did I breed Merida. I bred Mercy and her daughter, who is a gilt, Matilda. I wanted to have these two bred. I've had good luck. Her mom, who was Molly, did a really good job, produced a lot of good pigs for us until a certain point. Now, I had these two bred. They settled. I checked them the following cycle, and they had settled. In fact, they had gone 2 cycles and were still settled. But now, Mercy has come back into heat just this last cycle. So she has unsettled or miscarried or whatever you want to say there. She is no longer bred. She had a very clear standing heat, a lot of discharge, so she was like full-blown heat cycle again. So that was a swing and a miss with her. Right now, Matilda still showing signs of being pregnant. She's due on April the 14th, so we think she's still good so far. So the question really becomes is what's next? Where did the bowl go? There were 4 bowls here. Oh, yeah, it's there. So the question really becomes is what's next? Do I try to rebreed one of these and have 2 different litters this year, which is I'm not really set up to do that. Again, we're in woodlot. You can see the woodlot here. This time of year, of course, nothing growing yet, but even when we get into the bushy time of spring and summer, it's more trees than it is grass. I just don't have enough pasture. I don't think I could run 2 different herds because I definitely want them separate, different feeders, all that type of stuff. Just not really prepared to do that. So I either have to just see what Matilda produces and only go with that, or obviously go purchase some wean pigs about the same time that these are ready to wean. So she's a gilt. I have no idea what she's going to throw. Historically, her mom and her grandmother have produced well. I've had as many as 16 from her and from her mom. But the problem I'm seeing with this genetic line, with Molly and then Mercy, is they get to a certain point and then they start miscarrying. And that's what happened with Molly. She produced multiple great litters and then miscarried twice. And so at that point I'm like, well, I just got to retire her. I'm spending too much money trying to breed her if she's going to miscarry. So that was an expense that I had to, I obviously had to stop that expense. So I retired her, and then I've gotten a couple good litters out of Mercy, and now she's miscarried. So the question is, do I keep her? Do I breed her again, which wouldn't be for another year, or at least to this fall? Step back here before I get a leg bitten. Nobody likes to get in front of the salad bar. Do I give her another chance, or do I retire her now and take her out of the line? And of course that leads me to believe then, if that's the case, then am I just expect the same from Matilda? Is that something I haven't? I've obviously used different boars when I've bred them. In fact, she's actually bred to a Hampshire boar. Wanted to try to get a little bit of hybrid vigor back in there. So do I take the chance of continuing to breed her? And obviously we're going to see what kind of litter she throws here next month to see if she's worth keeping. Again, I like her conformation. She's been a really solid pig. She's actually showing some pretty good belly there, and she's still a month and 2 weeks, a month and a week out. So I like her conformation so far. She's looking pretty good. So needless to say, it was very disappointing to find that Mercy had miscarried, and it really does kind of leave me in a pickle. Last year we had all the tragedy and the loss at farrowing, so we had a very small litter. This year it looks like we're just going to have a small litter via attrition. So I'm kind of keeping my eye out with some farms that I'm familiar with in the area. I may end up purchasing some when the time comes. Again, really just want to see what kind of litter she throws. I really like to have about 15 to 20 pigs at most to raise out and process in the fall. But obviously chances are having that many viable pigs are going to be very slim. So we may be half that. Being a gilt, you just don't know what we're going to get with the genetics of the Hampshire boar that we got. One thing I have thought of is, again, you guys I've confessed my weakness for Abigail here, that I just can't bring myself to process her. She's been due to go on the trailer ride to freezer camp for a couple years now. She's just getting old, but she's just such a great pig. I've really enjoyed. I like her whole attitude. I'll say that she takes a shot at somebody. I like her attitude when she's not eating. She has a really good temperament, very easy to get along with, unless you're trying to get her food. Here you go. Unless you're trying to get at her food. So really been really happy with her. I like more of her offspring, but she can't produce. Her daughter, Merida, produces well. Not as nice as Abigail is, but I've thought about taking Abigail, taking Merida, and taking Mercy, and just going ahead and sending them all off to freezer camp, leaving Matilda here, and maybe venturing over into some other heritage stock. We've always dealt with production stock because, again, the goal was to grow our pigs on pasture, but to grow them in a logical time. That 6 to 7 month window, get a good yield for my customers that wanted good pasture pig. Easy. Nobody likes being on a diet around here. That's the problem when you're a breeding sow. You get a bit of a diet. Of course, I'm talking here. Of course, the other option would be to just stick it out and give everybody another chance. One thing I've thought of is, again, not going to try to breed Abigail. That discussion's off the table. But looking at Merida and looking at Mercy, do I try to breed one more time? Even try to breed maybe early or late spring, early summer, so that we've got a litter that's going to hit about the time that I'd be taking Matilda's litter to freezer camp. Kind of a balance there. Again, I don't like overwintering a large herd of pigs simply because, again, with our woodlot, the fact that most of our pasture area is woods, you can see these sacrificial areas that we have here, how rough they get. And if I have 15 or 20 pigs on pasture over winter, then they're not getting a lot of pasture. They're not getting a lot of that varied diet. They're just simply living off the grain I'm giving them, and of course they're tearing stuff up because nothing's having a chance to heal. So maybe if I had more pasture opened up. So we may see, I think it's all going to be based upon what we get from Matilda here next month. Let her kind of determine what the rest of the year looks like. But I'm not opposed to retiring everybody and starting a whole new line with a whole new breed. Again, toying with the idea of heritage breeds, there's some pros and cons to that. We'll save that for another video. Well, for those of you not aware, when we're talking about breeding, of course, I don't have a boar. We do AI, and if you're curious about how we do AI, I've got a very comprehensive, some people would call it long and windy video right here that you can check out about our AI process. All right, take care, everybody.